Good morning, it's Mary from Craftymima place with another Make It Monday. We're going to do our last Timeless Tulips. This is the last Monday for March, and all March we've been working with the Timeless Tulips bundle. It's the stamp set and the punch as a bundle, and you receive 10% off. Today's card is this one here. It says, "May the memories of yesterday comfort you today." It could be a bring up somebody's spirit card, or perhaps maybe just to remind them that we will get through this epidemic. Anyway, here's what you're going to need for the card. We're going to need, excuse me, a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This one is 11 by 4¼ scored at 5½, so it's a top folding card. This is Whisper White, and then you'll need some Whisper White cardstock for your stamping and for your greeting. I also have a piece of basic black cardstock. This is basic black cardstock cut at 1¾ by 5½. A piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper. This is the Sutles collection. This color is Highland Heather, which is one of the Sutles colors. And this is cut at 1½ by 5¼ And then last is this little piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and it is 1 inch by 5 inches. And those are all the supplies you will need. So I think first we'll start with our stamping. So we're gonna need to stamp at least 3 tulips. We're gonna stamp the leaves and everything right on the card front. So all we need is just one small piece to stamp our flowers, and of course our Stampin Pierce Mat. We'll need that because this is photopolymer, so we're gonna need the Stampin Pierce Mat. And we're going to use Highland Heather ink, Highland Heather, and we're going to ink up our large tulip and just stamp out 3 near the bottom, because you know you can't get the punch that high up on the paper, so you want to stay relatively near the bottom. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we will take our punch and start punching out our beautiful tulips. I really like this set. I think it's really lovely the way the shading is on the tulips. They look very realistic to me. I made lots of things with it. I made a box with cards and a Mother's Day box and for candy and several cards. Nice little kit. Okay, there's our 3. And as you can see, when you punch out the flower, you get the leaf at the same time. We don't need them because we're going to stamp right on the paper. So I'll just move this over here out of the way. Those are our 3 flowers. I'll put this over here out of the way. Okay, now we'll close up our purple and start assembling our card. So the first thing we're going to start with will be the front of the card. This is our base. I think we'll just layer, oh geez, I have it on my hand. I think I can cover it up though. I always need to look because sometimes when I close my ink pads, I get ink on my hands. And then I get it on my project because I'm not paying attention. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put this right over it, and you're not going to be able to see it at all. So we'll take some Snail Adhesive and we'll just run some Snail down our black piece of cardstock, and we will try to place it so that we cover up as much of that mistake as we can. It should fit from the top to the bottom, completely covering the card. Next, we'll layer on our, you can use either side. This is double-sided. This is like a diamond pattern, and then that's your gingham stripe, or gingham print. I like the gingham, so I'm going to put that up on the card. And we're going to just kind of center that so that there's just a tiny bit of black around the whole piece, equally around it. And and next we're going to put on the last piece, which is just this little strip of Highland heather. There we go. And that'll just go right here, kind of making it straight in the center there, opening it up. Okay, now we can start putting our flowers in our stems. For the stems, we're going to use Pear Pizzazz, which is another color in the Sutles family. So you can decide how long or short. That's why I would put something underneath it in case you want to come off the paper with it. So I'm going to start with one really tall one that I probably, that'll work, I think. I'll just put this one here. There's one. And we're going to straighten this out just a little bit because it's a little curved. Make it a little straighter so that we can, and as you can see, I'm getting ink all over my fingers. I'll put this one way over here. And then we will do one kind of in the center, but not quite as tall. And there you go. All right, before we put on the leaves, I think we'll use our Stampin Dimensionals and put our flowers on and put them where we want them. And then we will put our leaves around it, stamp the leaves around it. Okay, I'm just going to put one dimensional, and then I'm going to put my flower. No, that's not very even there, so let's try to find the, there we go, that's a little better, I think. So I hope you're all not going crazy, being locked in your houses. I know mothers with small children are probably getting ready to wish their children were going back to school. I've seen some fantastic videos on YouTube of mothers and their creativity with their children. Just awesome to see how they play with them. And there we go. So I got 3. Now I'm going to put some leaves on. Okay, now we're just going to put our leaves. And I'm going to put them near the bottom here of the card. Well, actually, I think I put them a little farther up the stem. And the leaves can go in either direction. I'm going to put probably about 3, I think. There we go. And now for the last, for the greeting, we're going to use our tuxedo black ink, Memento ink, to stamp our greeting on our piece of paper to punch out. Okay, so now we're just going to ink up our, this time I decided to do Happy Mother's Day on this one. So I'm just going to stamp it on my white. And we're going to use the Everyday Label Punch to punch that out. Okay. And instead of putting it up and down, we'll put it this way. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat today. I'm not sure why. Stampin Dimensionals. Right here. Couldn't find them. There we go. I'm going to put two. One on either side. I'm looking forward to being able to go back to my manicurist because my nails are looking pretty bad now after 30 days. So we'll just put this right here on the card, and then we will be using, this is from the Magnolia Blossoms set. This is the green twine that came with the set. I don't have any more, so we're going to use some. This is just that linen twine, linen thread. So we'll just take a small piece, make a bow, and put it on our card, and then we will be done with Make It Monday for March 30th. And if you have not done so yet, it would be a good time to do your census. Remember that census is important for your community. It helps to get much needed funding for your community. So if you're free today, take a moment, go online and do your census. Whoop, wrong scissors. The paper snips work much better at this than that does. There we go. And one more mini glue dot. And we will try to get it to stick. There we go. And I think we'll put this right here. And there's our card for today. You could also put some bling on it if you wanted to, some rhinestones or some pearls or whatever you like. I like it just the way it is, so I'm going to leave it that way. So if you liked my video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, and I will be back next week with a whole new set for the month of April. And it's a really cute little set with umbrellas and rain, and just awesome little set. So I will see you then. Take care.